Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, kindly introduce yourselves in the comments. I want to know you for real and I want to meet you. Where are you watching from? And to all of my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. Thank you for your incredible love and your massive support. Sorry, I'm a bit late today. We had a new pastor installed in my church, so we had, quite a bit of a celebration. So please introduce yourselves in the comments. Where are you watching from? I want to know you. And while you're introducing yourselves, let me also go ahead and introduce myself as well. So guys, if you're watching this for the very first time, my name is Miriam. I'm based here in California. I'm a wife, a mom, a student, an entrepreneur. I'm also a fashion designer. And on this channel, I share 3 videos every week: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I also go live every Sundays 1 p.m. Pacific time. So please pardon me for my lateness today. Please introduce yourselves in the comments. I really want to know you. How did you find my link? How did you find out about this, this live stream and all of the good stuff? So without further ado, guys, let's get right into today's business: how to develop atomic habits. Yes, how to develop atomic habits that will change your life. Now, just so you know, these are habits that successful people possess. Yes, these are habits of highly successful people, and I'm going to be sharing with you because I read a lot about successful people, and I started this series I think about 2 weeks ago. Yes, 2 weeks ago. So make sure that you watch 2 weeks live stream as well as last week's live stream. And if you are looking for grants for your small business, this is also, you're in the right place. Yes, during the weekdays are devoted for grants on this channel, so I share free money for small businesses, free money for nonprofits, and free money for women, grants for organizations. I share it on my channel every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But on my live stream every Sunday, we talk about self-development topics like this one. So guys, I shared 5 habits last week, and this week I'm going to be sharing 5 more habits, yes, of highly successful people. And the next one I'm going to be sharing with you is saving. Yes, saving habits, the habits of saving. So yes, you need to save money before you spend it. A mistake a lot of people make is they spend money even before they receive that money. Yes, before, when they're expecting some funds or maybe their salaries, they've already calculated what to do with it without even budgeting, saving something for saving. So the 6th habit is for you to save money before you spend it. So yes, and this is something that serves, it's more like a divide between broke people and people who build wealth. Yes, because most people live with a backward philosophy. A lot of people have that backward mentality. All they do is, all they say, you hear them say, before the money even hits my account, is already finished. So that is what I'm talking about. So if you study highly successful people very well, they always save first before they spend. It is something that you have to cultivate as part of your lifestyle. So the 6th habit is to save money. Yes. So that is one principle that you cannot escape from, and that is something that keeps you boxed up like all the time. It keeps you everly financially ready. Like if I tell you that I have my staff salaries prepared for the rest of the year, you won't believe it, right? So it's part of saving. It's creating an avenue for you to just have that buffer to relax and chill and live the kind of life that you want. But a lot of people are still, they're struggling. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses and buying things that they don't, typically need. So you need to cultivate the habit of saving before spending. Saving before spending. So before you make that your next salary, before that salary hits your account, or that next payment hits your account, make sure that you keep something reserve funds for saving before you start spending the money. I'm telling you. So I'm telling you, when you start saving, it proves to yourself, you are able to prove to yourself that you're disciplined and you're someone that builds quietly. You don't harvest your seed, right? Because what are seeds meant for? They're meant to be planted. They're meant to be, you have to nurture them and then you reap them in future. But when you eat up your seeds today, what happens tomorrow? There's nothing for you to gather tomorrow. That is the principle behind it. So guys, you will look at yourself one day and you'll be grateful that you started this life for yourself. Now, let's talk about discipline. Yes, daily discipline. Discipline, my friends, guys, is a bridge between people who are successful and people who are not. It's the bridge between goals and accomplishments. Guys, it's the difference between a dream that fades away and a reality that stands. I'm telling you, a reality that stands tall. Because when you're disciplined, it means you're doing the right thing, even when you don't feel like doing it. And that's why, personally, I don't wait till I feel like doing something. I do it because I have to do it. It's like creating systems. So I'll give you an example. Thank you for the likes. I see you guys. Thank you so much. For someone like me, this is the end of the month, right? Today is what, 28th. We're going towards the end of the month, and you need to plan for the coming month. If you're someone that plans, months from month to month, which is okay, it's better than not planning at all. So I need to create systems in place. For me, I'm speaking for myself. I need to create systems for next month, something that keeps my business going, something that makes me show up even if I'm not there, right? It makes me show up. And I'll give you an example. This is a layman's example that I can give to the to a baby, a 5-year-old, that they will easily understand. So let's assume that you have a store and you don't have the time to go to the store every day, yet you have to be at the store every day. What is the easiest system that you can put in place is to employ somebody and make sure that you are constantly always open. That's exactly where I'm going. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. So you have to create systems, by being disciplined, you have to create systems that ensures that you are showing up, whether you feel like or not. So in the example I just gave, of you owning a store, yes, you're showing up, even though you're not there, but you are showing up. I mean, there's someone at the forefront, there's someone representing your brand that is showing up on behalf of, and that is what matters most. I mean, if you go to all the banks, when you go to the bank nearest to you, it doesn't mean the founder of the bank is the person that will attend to you tomorrow morning, tomorrow morning when you go to the bank. No, there are systems in place which makes the business thrive, which makes the business and ongoing business. And that's something you need to also do for yourself. So what are the systems I am talking about in my own case is to make sure that I schedule out my posts in advance, is to make sure that I, create, because I've done that months ago. And that's what I'm talking about. When it comes to discipline, it's not easy, but it's something that you have to commit to doing because you want to make things work. It doesn't have to do with how you feel. It doesn't have to do with your mood or, I don't feel like doing it. No, it doesn't. Like, if you want to be successful, you have to get ready to be uncomfortable. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable if you want to be successful. And that is why a lot of people remain broke, because they are doing things out of, because they don't feel like doing it, because they feel like doing it. They are waiting for themselves to feel like doing it before they do it. But when we talk about, successful people, they do things even though it's hard, even though it's tough. But they just, impossible is just not in their dictionary. And that is what discipline is about. Doing things even when it doesn't feel comfortable. That's why it's called discipline. And that's why you hear people say, oh, I don't have the discipline to do this. I don't have the discipline. Once you master the art of discipline, you're already 50% successful in life. You're already halfway there. I'm telling you, discipline means that you're doing something that is, right, even when it is not convenient, even when it's not comfortable, even when no one is watching. And you don't do things for the approval of others, for people to clap for you. No, you do it because you just have to do it. You do it even when there are no views. And I remember it's some few weeks ago, someone came on my live stream and the person said, oh, you don't even have people watching your live stream. And I'm like, and the person thinks I have attached my value or my self-worth to the number of people that are watching my live stream. Man, counts me out. I am not one of those people. I don't derive my self-worth, my sense of self-worth, from viewers, from people that are watching, like from 10 million views or from 5 million. It doesn't make me better than the next person. It's like I explained to the person, I told the person, it doesn't matter if I have 0 views at the moment. My goal is to inspire, even if it's just one person that comes to watch the replay, and I am good. My goal is already accomplished by that. So like I said, doing things without waiting for the applause of others, doing things without waiting for the approval of other people. You have to Keep going. Yes, keep that momentum. And when you do things consistently over time, it becomes a part of you. Now I give you another example. I like to use, workout. I like to use, living healthy as part of my examples. So when you start skipping, this is another example. When you start skipping, as a form of exercise, you start skipping. It doesn't seem like much, but trust me, when you do it consistently for 10 years, your health pays the price. Yes, your health pays the price. If you're watching this live stream for the first time, I will implore you to please go to last week's live stream and make sure that you listen to it. I talked about 1% improvement every day. You'll be surprised as when you improve one by just 1% every single day, at the end of a year, you have improved by 38%. Yes, at the end, it compounds, and that is what makes it worth the while. So when you do it consistently for just 1 year, you realize that you have gained, you have improved, or you have compounded interest by 38%. I was telling my friend yesterday that it is not by how talented you are, but consistency, consistent discipline. The marketplace doesn't reward talent, it doesn't reward occasional brilliance, but it rewards consistent discipline. So if you want money to chase you, then you have to build that habit of discipline into every part of your life. And you're going to see success running in your direction. Yes. And yes, let's go to the ninth habit. Guys, the ninth habit is to carefully choose your associations. Choose your associations. There are some people who are very comfortable with people who are not dreamers, people who are not achievers, people who are not high flyers, people who have given up on themselves, people that, like local champion, that word, that's phrase, local champion, people that you're seemingly doing better than, you will not grow. You will not grow if you are consistently being surrounded by people who don't add value to you. And like I told you, people that you spend time with will determine who you become. Because whether you like it or not, we are all influenced by, the energy of our closest associations. And trust me, when you surround yourself by, the people who add value to you, when you surround yourself with them every single time consistently, you start to become like them. And there's no line to saying that you are the average of five people that you spend most of your time with. I'm telling you. So the energy of your closest associations, if you surround yourself with people who complain all the time, you'll be surprised. Before you know it, you start complaining. And if you surround yourself with people who dream but never act, you also find yourself dreaming without results. So you need to find friends, people who constantly, yearn to be a better version of themselves. People who constantly say, talk and do, people who say, oh, I'm going to do this, and then they make sure that they follow through and they do it. You find yourself also, doing things that you said you wanted to do. You find yourself no longer sleeping on your dreams because you're constantly surrounded by people who always set goals and then they achieve it themselves. If you surround yourself with winners, people with ambition, people with a lot of energy, people with positivity, people with discipline, guys, you will naturally start to absorb their energy. And this is the reason why wealthy people are deliberate about their associations. They don't give into negative energy. I'm telling you, they know that money flows not in the circle of negativity. It happens in the right environment. So, what environment are you constantly surrounding yourself by? I had a meeting on Friday, and was it Friday or Thursday? I had a meeting on Thursday, right? I had a meeting on Thursday, and honestly, the conversation is different because when you surround yourself with winners, the conversation is different. We're talking like people doing big things, big stuffs in their businesses, and you are inspired to do the same. You're inspired to also pick up your bags, pick up your baggages, and also do something for yourself. You're inspired to, also set bigger goals for yourself and making sure that you follow through and achieve all of those dreams, all of those goals that you have set for yourself. So please think about this. Take an inventory of your circle. Take an inventory of your circle. Who lifts you up? And then who drains you? There's some conversations that actually drain you. And people who drain, they know me. So just gonna end the call, And who are the people that also challenge you to grow? You should spend more time with such people. Who are the people that make you settle for less? That one too is okay now. After all, many people around you are not getting as much as that. You should take no. So just so you know, associations are contagious. They are, for better or worse. And the truth of the matter is, if you want wealth and opportunity to chase you, then you must align yourself with people who are also on that path of growth and excellence. If you want to align yourself with people, if you want to align yourself with wealth, you have to align yourself. You have to, mingle with people who are also on the path of growth and excellence. And let's get to the 10th habits, guys. Now, the principle is always give more value than you are paid for. Always give more value than you are paid for. A lot of times people will say, is it not, they just paid for X. Let me just give them the X and go. No, it's the principle of excellence, delivering quality, excellent customer service, delivering your best every single time, making sure that you bring your A game to the table. Even if you are an employee, you will attract success by being the best. You'll be surprised that people are watching, people are taking note of your energy, of the way you do things, the way you work, how you approach your duties. People are watching. They're saying, I can give you an example. There was a particular time when I worked in the bank. I had these clients. I had three clients. One of them brought the other two clients. They came from South Africa. Then I lived in Nigeria. I worked in the bank, and these three guys came in. I was pregnant with my first child, and honestly, they wanted to open some, what's it called? They wanted to open some accounts, and I was on high heels and I was running up and down the stairs, or running up. And I wasn't. You know how they say you don't look like what you're going through, right? I was tired, but I didn't show any sign of tiredness. This was also something I learned from this guy, Steve Harvey. Is it Steve Harvey? Steve Harris. Sorry, Steve Harris, not Steve Harvey. Their names sound alike. I learned this from Steve Harris. This guy, was contracted by the bank to train us, back in the bank's training school, and he was on his feet for about 8-9 hours, him and his partner, and they did not look tired for a second. And I'm like, what? They didn't look tired like after 7 hours. The same energy that they used from the beginning they kept that same energy all the way till the end. That right there is the spirit of excellence. That right there is the excellence spirit. And it's something that you should also inculcate in your business. I was speaking with a friend of mine on Friday, which was 2 days ago, and I was talking about how I need to get certain things, done for my clients. And the person was telling me, "Oh, when is it due?" And he said, "It doesn't matter when it's due. It's not about when it's due. It's about me getting it done. So even if it's due in 2 weeks' time, or in 5 weeks' time, or in 1 month's time, I make sure that I get it done, and it's waiting for them. I've never. This is straight from the heart. I have never had a situation of a client calling me and asking me, "Oh, is my outfit ready?" It has never happened before. It has never happened before. I always do the first call. I always call to say, "Hey, your outfit is ready," and then they come for fitting and pick up. So that right there is the spirit of excellence, and she mentioned it, and it kind of like it hit me at that point. So you need to also go above and beyond. Like I said, go above and beyond. Always give more value than you are paid for. Yes, and this can change your entire life. It can change your entire destiny. So if you're paid, let's say $10, give $20 worth of service. Yes. And if you're paid for an hour, deliver the value of 2 hours, because when you do more than you're paid for, the world eventually pays you more than you are paid, than you're supposed to be paid. The world will actually reward value. Yes, the reward value, and value attracts wealth. So a lot of people try to do the minimum. They just try to do the minimum. What are they paying me for? I'm supposed to leave at 4 on the dot. There was a time I worked in a branch where the branch manager by 4 o'clock, 3:59, is already at the staircase, is already disappearing. Like he doesn't care whether the bank, whether they crumble the next day or they crumble the next second. He just doesn't care. He wants to just get out. And guess what? His branch will never grow beyond what it is at that point. You have to strive, deliver excellence every single time, deliver beyond what you're paid for. Have that spirit of excellence in you. Always go over and beyond for, your employees, your employers, your clients. Always deliver more than you're paid for. And this is something, whether you like it or not, it's going to attract excellence. It's going to attract value. And that way, you would be surprised. A is going to tell B, because this is not something usual. It's not something usual for you to see people going above and beyond. And that's where you hear about goodwill. That's what we call goodwill if you're an accountant. It's that thing that makes you stand out, and it has a value as part of the assets of your company. I'm sure accountants can relate to this. So this is something that chases you even when you're not there, even when you don't ask them to. When people, when you offer them service and you go over and beyond, A is forced to tell B, even without you reminding them or telling them or asking them or asking for a review, they themselves become ambassadors, brand ambassadors of your company. So please always deliver more than what is paid for. Always deliver more than what you are paid for, because whether I like it or not, it will chase you. That value will definitely come back to you in multiple folds. So don't see it like, then they'll be cheating me, then I'll be doing my service. You're not doing yourself a disservice. You are not doing yourself a disservice. You're carving a name for yourself. You are creating a legacy for yourself, and you're attracting value for yourself, whether in the long run or in the short run. So every single time you're called to, for any kind of service, always make sure that you go over and beyond. Don't ever try to do the minimum, because too many people try to do the minimum. And I've been in situations where people say, "Oh, are they paying me for it? I'm not going to do it." And then they just let go. And I look at these people and I'm like, my mom used to say this when I was younger. She says, the way you handle other people's work is the same way you will end up handling your own work. So if you handle other people's job with mediocrity, you're definitely going to bring that spirit of mediocrity into your own personal business. So let's assume that you work for someone, you have an employer, and you're supposed to deliver, X and, a number of service, or some hours of service for the person. Always make sure that you do it to the best of your ability. Always make sure that you do it like you are the owner. Always embody that business, embody that character, while you are carrying out that job, that work. Always work like the success of that business belongs to you. Always do it, go over and beyond. Always strive to give your best at every single point in time. Don't do the barest minimum like a lot of people do. A lot of people just want to, just do anything like, let me just put it, let it not look like I didn't show up. Don't be that person. These are habits of highly successful people. You will not find them do mediocre services. And that's why sometimes, there have been situations where the owner, that could be, we can use examples of this, what's it called? Not American Grade. These companies where the undercover boss, right? When you find the boss himself in one of his franchises or one of his enterprises, and the boss has to attend to a client. You see, the boss the boss goes over and beyond to make sure that the client is happy, to ensure that customer service is above par, to ensure that customer success. And that's why some companies right now, the people that are forward thinking, they have customer success department, and then, well, maybe customer service department. But the whole idea of customer success is to ensure you're already looking at you're not looking at mediocre service. You're looking at premium service, and that's why you're looking at customer success, customer success team. Like you deliver over and beyond for your clients. You deliver like impeccable service, customer service for all of your clients. Now, when we talk of customer service, it means something is going wrong and you want to fix it. You are not operating from that frequency. You're not operating from that perspective of trying to fix something that is bad. You're not anticipating that something is going to go wrong. So when you have that customer success unit, it means you're just planning ahead for your clients. Like you have your clients at the core, at the back of your mind every single time for your brand. And that's the kind of mentality that you need to have as a person if you want to attract success every single time. And that's people who try to just do the minimum and they are trying to stretch their paycheck without stretching their own contribution. You know already that they are not headed to the top. There's some people who just want to put in the least amount of work. Some people, they can't just wait to just disappear and without putting in the work, without even making the company they work for feel their impact in any way, shape, or form. I remember back then, people know me. You should be known for something. Oh, that lady, she drives sales. Oh, that lady, she drives deposit. Oh, that lady, she drives risk assets. What value are you really bringing to the table? What value are you providing even for your clients? Do you really have that? Do you have that spirit of excellence in you? Or do you just do the barest minimum? When you do the barest minimum, then there is nothing distinguishing you from every other business. But when you go over and beyond, when you're thinking of how to satisfy your clients even before they walk into the door, when you're planning for them even before they book your service, then that right there is the spirit of excellence. And if by now you have not or you have never thought about this before, I think you should take that's what's it called? You have to be intentional about giving in your best, because a lot of people, before you know it, people will start to line up for the service. They start to line up for your skills, and your expertise, because they know that you will always over deliver. Guys, just so you know, wealth is attracted to generosity of value. Wealth is so. I'll also give you an example. Now, let's look at ChatGPT, for example. When people started using it for the first time, they're like, this thing is doing this. It's even doing more than what they thought, it could do. And people started, you see, wealth is attracted to value. When you provide value, you have to be generous with value. When you give value, make sure that if you under promise and over deliver. If you promise to give them one, give them 5 or give them 10, and they will see that kilo shele. They look at you and they what is associated with your name is excellence. What is associated with your name is greatness. What is associated with your name is service, great service. You're highly, you're very proficient in whatever it is that you offer. So remember that if you plant seeds of extra effort, extra forcefulness, and extra service, you will reap a harvest that is greater than you imagined. And the truth of the matter is, it may not come tomorrow, like tomorrow morning in 24 hours. But guess what? It will come. And when it comes, it will not stop. It will never stop. And now you may be thinking that it sounds simple. Yes, they are simple. But don't let that simplicity deceive you. And that is where a lot of people go wrong. They look at small habits and they're like, they dismiss them because it doesn't seem really dramatic enough. They think it requires something more, something more complicated, something more impressive, something extraordinary. But I'm telling you, greatness is embedded in those little things, in those ordinary things that you do every single day, those tiny little habits. Those, they may look small, but I'm telling you, they're the foundation of great fortunes. And like I said earlier, they are like seeds, because you plant them today, you water them tomorrow, you nurture them consistently, and before you know it, you will harvest results that are so abundant that you will hardly believe that they came from such humble beginnings. I mean, guys, with time, with care, with discipline, you will start to reap the rewards of this hard work, of these habits. And like I said, they don't look like much when you begin these habits, but give them years. And honestly, I've been going to the gym in recent times and it doesn't look much. I just put in what I need to every single day, and in less than 2 weeks I'm already seeing the results. I'm seeing the results. And that's why I said, was it last week I mentioned that Success sometimes is invincible. Yes, you don't see it, but trust me, it is right there. You're making progress. You're making, you're making improvements every single day. And when you're consistent, you're going to build a life of wealth. You're going to build a life of influence and success that will make other people wonder that how did you do it? And the truth is, these habits don't just make money to chase you, they also make people to chase you. And that is so valuable. That is something that will bring more visibility for you and for your brand, because money alone does not open doors. Oh. It is people that open doors. People chase leaders. People chase wisdom. When you depict wisdom, when you show that you have great leadership qualities or great leadership potentials, people would begin, people begin to chase you. And people chase discipline and integrity. If you're someone that, you are a person of your word, people, it's just a matter of time. The right doors will open. The right people will come forward. And it doesn't matter who is watching, it doesn't matter who is not watching. You just keep at it. And before you know it, you will be there. You will get there faster than you think. Guys, the world pays people. They pay more to people who can lead, to people who can inspire, to people who can be trusted to deliver results. Because these habits that I've just discussed, when you wake up with intention, when you're reading, when you're journaling, when you're disciplined, and with your health, you take your health seriously, people you associate yourself with, they're not just financial habits, they're actually character habits. And character habits, character actually attracts people when you have the right character. And the truth is, when you elevate yourself, other people naturally want to associate themselves with you. When you elevate yourself, people want to generally be around you. People want to learn from you. People want to also support you. And when people start to chase you, opportunities definitely start to multiply. Your network starts to expand, and doors open, doors that money alone cannot unlock. Those doors will start to open. I mean, think of wealth as not something that you run after, yeah, but as a shadow. So have you ever tried to chase your own shadow? He runs away, but the faster you run, the farther he stretches. So guys, always put in your best in everything that you do. Don't just do the barest minimum, because when you do the barest minimum, you are not different from the person next to you. And when we talk about greatness, look around you, count, go online and do the research yourself. How many billionaires do we have in the world? There are not so many. And this is because very few people take these principles, into action. Very few people inculcate the habits of, there's non-negotiable discipline, habits of discipline in their everyday lives. And I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse. I still have a lot to share. So if you want me to also continue with the same topic next week, I'll be more than happy. I like to just go live for 30 minutes every Sunday. I want to be respectful of your time. And if this video has blessed you, please like this video. Please share this video with your friends. I mean, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will not end today without saying a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for my audience, people that are everyone watching me right now. I pray that you bless them beyond measure. I pray that you grant them their heart desires, and I pray that you give them that discipline, that grace, the grace to be disciplined, even when they don't understand how to, even when they don't believe it's possible. Lord, I pray that you give them the grace to do what is impossible in your name. Amen. So thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves, because I am about to do the same thing. All right, take care, guys, and God bless you. Bye for now.